Good afternoon, viewers of the channel. Welcome back to another adventure in the Elements Awoken mod for Terraria. Here's a list of the mods for this playthrough, excluding any minor ones. Remember to do what the algorithm likes, as it helps the channel. We just hit 1,000 views and 50 watch hours as I type this script, and your continued support helps out. I'll also leave another note here as well. Halo Infinite comes out when this episode releases, so depending on how much I get sunk into it, I may not upload a new episode next week. Most likely a Halo Infinite video instead of a Terraria video. We'll see. Also, be sure to check out my Twitter. I tweet nonsense. Now that the intro is out of the way, let's journey back into the mod with the defeat of Terraria. With Terraria vanquished, it was time to make some upgrades. A lot of them. With the Alchemist NPC mod, the Tinkerer now sold all the pieces to the Ankh Shield, so I made that. It went into a new modded item called the Mana Geode. It gave a hefty amount of buffs for mage as well as giving the effect of the Ankh Shield. It required an elusive charm, which drops from Tim. Easy. I then went into the newly upgraded dungeon, seeking the Tabby and the Black Belt, as well as Ectoplasm. I obtained them after a while of farming and a few deaths, and then noticed a new boss event had started for Permafrost. It reduced movement speed by 5% and caused blizzards and hail to spawn until Permafrost was defeated. I continued my upgrades, making the Master Ninja gear to replace the Shield of the Desert. I then went down into the Icy Depths to farm for Icy Essence, the new biome essence that was required to summon and defeat Permafrost, as well as make some more upgrades. I soon upgraded my Skyline Whirlwind to the Frostwalkers, and crafted Dragonmail armor from the Refined Dracolite the new Dracolite enemies dropped. The set bonus for Mage made my magic attacks inflict Dragonfire, as well as increase my magic damage as my health got lower. Neat. I then sought to defeat the next boss, the Golem. Temple crawling is a fun time. Here's the full Golem fight because it took about a minute. Are y'all ready for a boss rush? This episode will be packed full of bosses. Enjoy. Still easy. I then farmed him because why not, then returned to the surface to open his bags. I got a Pixel first try. Nice! I then crafted the Destroyer emblem, then went for Spectre armor. I then challenged Permafrost in the Icy Depths, a city buster created. Here's the full fight. Enjoy! permafrost was defeated. After a goblin army that spawned in the middle of the fight, I opened its treasure bag and obtained a weapon from its loot pool as well as its expert mode item, the Soul of the Frost. It gave a 10% damage boost and upped my armor penetration by 10. This seemed very strong. I'd use it for quite a while for where I'm at in recording. Next up, I'd fight Obsidius to continue this boss rush. Enjoy the fight. 2 phases is cool for a boss. I like this one. Its treasure bag contained a mount and a weapon in its loot pool. Neat. Of course, the boss rush isn't over yet. It was time to face the Duke and smash his fishy face in. Here's the fight. Enjoy! Duke down. On death, a text tip let me know that the ocean was the next biome that spawned Essence and where the next boss will be fought. Boss rush over for now. In between the Duke fight and the next recording, I had used the Heroes mod to upgrade my magic storage because it was almost full. Also in between, the next boss event had started, which made it rain all the time as well as making Sharknadoes spawn across the world. It pushed me to fight the new boss, Aqueous. But first, some ocean farming. Water essence now spawned in the ocean, and like the icy essence from before, allowed me to craft new upgrades. As I was farming, I got a second infinity crystal and a strange item called Odd Water. It went into one of the artifacts, the ethereal shell. What are the artifacts? They're really strong equipment that all combine into a mega accessory, the Elemental Arcanum. When I returned from farming, I summoned a pirate invasion because why not? Easy. Afterwards, I mined a lot of chlorophyte to craft a bunch of new gear and upgrade some old ones. I made the aquatic waders and upgraded the frostwalkers. I made the emblem of the ocean, as it was the badge for a biome similar to the badge of the sky, which helped me defeat Regalath last episode. It gave buffs while underwater. I then crafted the ethereal shell, which gave a bonus 20% increase to magic damage, plus 100 mana, and the effects of the mana flower and magical cuffs. A very strong magic item. I then felt ready to take on Aqueous and end the plague of Sharknadoes. Here's the fight in full. Aqueous down. Nice fight. Her treasure bag contained an item that summoned 4 guards around you as well as making you leave a bubble trail when you move. Didn't seem all that strong. I certainly wouldn't replace the permafrost expert item. Now, I had a new goal, to take down the lunatic cultist and move on to the Moon Lord. The cultist was down and the pillars began. The cultist dropped a new magic weapon, but it unfortunately wasn't as good as the weapon I'd get next, the Nebula Blaze. I fought the Nebula pillar first so I'd get it quicker. Pillar down, I crafted the Nebula Blaze, then the Nebula Emblem, which increased my magic damage a whopping 22%, but lowered all non-magic damage by 75%. A worthwhile trade, as I don't really like multi-classing when playing this game. As I was fighting the pillars, I was able to get an unstable amber, which went into another one of the artifacts that I craft later. It is Moonlord time. Enjoy the fight. The Moon Lord was defeated. Upon defeat, a few messages popped up, including one where it said the world is blessed with Luminite. Weird. I'll discover it next time, as I have to wrap up this episode with crafting what I'd use for next time. I made Nebula armor, then crafted a few more artifacts. The skull of the old one, which gave increased mining speed, increased damage, and damage reduction, as well as knockback immunity. I also made the Frozen Gauntlet, which allowed me to inflict ice debuffs on attacks, gave the effects of the Star Veil, and increased my damage by 15%. Both of these went into the Elemental Arcanum, along with the Ethereal Shell. But that will all probably be for next time, as we continue into the post-Moon Lord progression. Let me know in the comments if you want those all spread out into a few videos, or condensed into a much longer one. Remember, I'll have no episode next week due to Halo Infinite, which also means that I have more time to edit. Upgrades made this episode, as I finally remember that I do this, was I went from Chlorophyte Armor all the way to Nebula Armor. I obtained Master Ninja Gear, upgraded from the Skyline Whirlwind to the Aquatic Raiders, and added the Mana Geode, Ethereal Shell, Soul of Frost, and the Nebula Emblem to my arsenal. As for weapons, I went from the Eye of Regaroth to the Nebula Blaze. Now, I will take on the Temple Keepers, starting immediately next episode. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Blade Burger out.